speaking of 2022, as far as schedule goes, one big change that happened between the last time we broadcast, just the two of us. I mean, that was right after the Outback Bowl, and now is the season opener at Purdue has been moved to Thursday night, September 1st. It was a Saturday game originally. It's going to be on Fox. Don't know what time yet, but probably I would guess 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern. Gus Johnson on the call. So it'll be certainly be a more lively atmosphere than it probably otherwise would have been if they had kept it in its Saturday slots. Marty, I know we've talked about. I've said this a bunch of times. I'm repeating myself, but it'll be a tough game. Or it won't be as daunting as it was going on the road at Wisconsin to begin last year. Still be a tough game nonetheless. And that's even though Purdue's lost their stud receiver David Bell and their best pass rusher George Karlaftis on the D line, they still return Aiden O'Connell, their quarterback, who's back just like Cliff, back for his 6th year, and so it's at home. I'm sure, I'm assuming if school's in session at Purdue, no doubt the students will be out in full force. They'll probably get a pretty good crowd, be on national TV Thursday night. It'll be a raucous atmosphere. But I don't know about you. I actually kind of like this in the sense that I'd rather have Penn State playing this big game actually televised at night rather than maybe playing a sleepy, noon or 11 a.m. Central road game.
No, I agree with that. Look how many times over the years they've played Northwestern, Indiana, whoever it may be at, noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, and they sleepwalk through it, and it's the fourth quarter, and you're sitting there biting your nails thinking, oh, God, are they going to survive this? And also, if you're going to play a Thursday night game, make it the first game of the year because it doesn't throw off your regular weekly schedule. So that's big too. And, I think one thing with Purdue, they're a sneaky good football team. They went 9-4 this year. Nobody talked about them. I've absolutely nobody talked about the fact Purdue is 9-4 with a bowl victory this year. But I do think it's team Penn State matches up well against, which helps. Purdue's going to look to throw some more. And as we talked about, Penn State's secondary and pass rush should both be very good this season, which helps. So I think it'll be an exciting game. I definitely think it could be a game where we see things get a little loose, start the season. If this winds up like 31-28 type of game, wouldn't surprise me. But, man, I can't think of a much better way to start the college football season, though, than a Big Ten matchup in prime time, Gus Johnson on the call. I'm here for it. It's what? Today's what, April 14th. It's 5 months away almost, or a little less than 5 months away, and I'm already jazzed up, excited for it. I can't wait. It's just – I know Gus Johnson is everybody's cup of tea, but I love him, man. He's so good. You need more excitement like that in the booth. Make the game exciting. And, yeah, I couldn't be more excited for Penn State to start the season than with Gus on the call, primetime game. And like I said, if you're going to get a Thursday night game, especially on the road, have it be the start of the season. And again, like you said too, those sleepy Midwestern early morning or late morning / early afternoon kickoffs have given Penn State so much trouble over the years. Anytime they don't have to deal with that, sign me up.
Yeah, and I do miss Gus Johnson calling March Madness games, which unfortunately hasn't done ever since he moved to Fox over a decade ago. But yeah, it's interesting that you are excited now. I remember a couple months ago you were saying in the Slack channel it was the least excited you felt about an upcoming season. But what's that old phrase? Hope springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal combined with them. It's the off season. You bring in an All-American guard. You bring in a receiver who's ridiculously productive. You bring in your 5-star pass rusher, and you start to feel better about this thing. But yeah, it'll be an exciting start. I do think it's a big season for Penn State ahead. I think if you look at 2023 and beyond, this team should be really dang good and should be in position to be right there with Ohio State in a lot of ways. So if you can get through 2022 with 9 wins, I think that really goes a long way to re-cementing Penn State, even with Michigan's playoff berth, as second best team, second best program, excuse me, in the Big Ten. So yeah, and I said this on my personal Twitter the other day. It's about a week ago. It was like 9 o'clock on a Sunday night, and I just kind of scrolling through YouTube. I was like, man, I've reached the point of the season where I'm watching like replays of Indiana, Maryland on the Big Ten Network, and watching highlights of like Sweet Carolina at Beaver Stadium and Dixieland Delight at Bryant Kenny, and I won't back down at the Swamp. I'm like, dude, just give me college football back. I miss it. I'm ready at this point. This is the point of the offseason where I really start to have my football itch where I need it, man. I need it.
Yeah, I think now, especially with March Madness being over,
Exactly.
And of course, I mean, I do watch the NBA playoffs as a basketball fan. I'm not a big hockey guy, so I don't watch the NHL playoffs. And unfortunately, the World Cup this year, which normally I'd be looking forward to in the summertime, that's not going to be happening until the week of Thanksgiving. So that's a little ways off. So
Yeah.
in the meantime, I've been watching. I actually was watching after I watched the Jair Brown mic'd up clip. I actually watched highlights of the Penn State Maryland game last year, and Jair Brown with the game sealing pick six at the end. It's still fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'm a big baseball guy, but man, when you're a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates, usually by about May 1st, your baseball season's over. So, it leaves you a lot to yearn to get you to the fall for football.
Well, hopefully they won't. Hopefully they'll make it to June 1st at least.
Yeah, at least give me like June this year.
I mean, they've been to the playoffs a few times in recent memory, haven't they?
Yeah, they went to the playoffs in 13, 14, and 15. 2018, they missed it by like a game or two, but other than that, it's been pretty slim pickings in my 30 years on this planet for that team. So,
Indeed.